Donald Trump came out strong on live television and spoke directly to the crowd. Donald Trump talking about Michelle Obama. He looked straight at the audience and made his feelings very clear about Michelle Obama. He told everyone that with their support on November 5th, big changes were coming. But first, he had to address what he saw as unfair treatment from her. Donald Trump said she had been nasty to him, even though he had always tried to be nice and respectful. He felt she had opened up a little box that should have stayed closed. He called it a big mistake on her part. At the same time, Donald Trump painted a bright and exciting picture of the future for America. He promised the strongest economy, the most secure borders, the safest cities, the most powerful military, and the best trade deals. He said America would dominate in science, medicine, business, technology, and space like never before. Then Donald Trump brought Barack Obama into the conversation, too. He said he had seen Barack Hussein Obama taking little shots at him the night before. He said both Barack and Michelle were getting personal, even though people always told him to stick only to policy. Donald Trump complained that they were breaking the rules while expecting him to follow them. The crowd reacted with loud cheers and strong energy. People watching from home felt the intensity of the moment. Donald Trump was not holding back. He was speaking from the heart in his own direct way. This was not a quiet political talk. This was Donald Trump being Donald Trump, bold, personal, and full of passion. He mixed his criticism with big promises about a better future. Many supporters in the room loved the energy and felt he was fighting for them. Others watching felt the personal attacks were too strong. But almost everyone agreed that this speech was something special. It captured years of tension between Donald Trump and the Obama family. Donald Trump had named them directly and refused to stay silent. He accused them of getting personal while claiming he tried to stay respectful. The way he delivered the message was classic Donald Trump style. He did not soften his words. He said what he believed and let the audience decide. This moment on live television quickly spread across the country. Clips played on news channels and people talked about it everywhere. Some praised Donald Trump for speaking truth. Others criticized him for making it too personal. But the speech did its job. It got attention and started many conversations. Donald Trump had set the stage for a bigger exchange. He showed he was willing to fight back and call things out as he saw them. At the same time, he gave his supporters hope with promises of success and strength. This combination of attack and vision is what makes Donald Trump's speeches powerful for his base. People feel he understands their concerns and is not afraid to speak up. As the words echoed through the hall, it was clear this was only the beginning. The responses from the other side would come soon. The drama was building and the American people were watching closely. Donald Trump had drawn a clear line. Now everyone waited to see how Michelle Obama and Barack Obama would answer. The night was charged with emotion, and the story was just starting to unfold in dramatic fashion. Donald Trump's direct style made the moment unforgettable. He turned a political event into something that felt personal and real. Viewers could sense the rivalry and the high stakes involved. This opening speech by Donald Trump became one of the key moments in the long-running story between these powerful figures. It showed his willingness to go after his opponents by name and defend his record at the same time. The promises about the economy, borders, and American leadership gave people something to believe in. The personal criticism of Michelle Obama and Barack Obama added fire to the speech. Donald Trump felt they had crossed a line, and he said so plainly, "This honesty is what his supporters respect most about him. He does not play games. He speaks his mind." The crowd loved the energy and the directness. They cheered loudly as he spoke. People at home felt the same excitement or concern depending on their views, but no one could deny that Donald Trump had made a strong impression. The speech would be replayed many times in the days and weeks that followed. Analysts discussed every part of it. They looked at the personal attacks, the policy promises, and the overall tone. Donald Trump had succeeded in keeping the focus on him and the issues he cared about. This is how big political stories are built, one powerful moment at a time. Donald Trump had thrown the first big punch in this exchange. The story was far from over. More responses were coming, and the American public was ready to hear them. The tension was real, the drama was captivating, and the night on live television had delivered exactly what people expected from Donald Trump: strong words and big vision. This moment would be remembered as a key part of the rivalry. It showed the passion and the differences between the two sides. Donald Trump had spoken his truth and the world was listening. The story continued to develop as the responses started to arrive. Everyone stayed tuned because they knew more drama was on the way. Donald Trump had opened the door, and now the full conversation was unfolding in public view. This is what makes American politics so interesting to watch. Strong characters, real emotions, and high stakes all come together on live television. Donald Trump played his part perfectly in this first act of the story. He set the tone, and now it was time for the others to respond. The audience waited eagerly for what would happen next in this long and intense rivalry. Expanded with detailed storytelling, character focus, emotional descriptions, audience reactions, and repeated narrative flow to build length while keeping it simple and easy to understand for viewers. Michelle Obama did not stay silent after Donald Trump's strong attack. She stepped forward and gave a powerful response that many people found honest and moving. Michelle Obama looked back at the years and said that Donald Trump had done everything in his power to try to make people fear them. She spoke about his limited, narrow view of the world that made him feel threatened by the existence of two hardworking and highly educated, successful people who happened to be black. Michelle Obama asked a direct question: who was going to tell him that the job he was currently seeking might just be one of those black jobs? She made it clear that going small is never the answer. She called it petty, unhealthy, and quite frankly, unpresidential. Then Michelle Obama opened up about her own personal experiences. She talked about her decision to skip the inauguration and how people did not understand it. They met her choice with ridicule and criticism. Many assumed her marriage was falling apart, even though that was not true. Michelle Obama explained that she was trying to own her life and make choices that were right for her. It took everything in her power to do what felt right instead of what others expected. She had to trick herself into it at first. The process even started with something simple like not preparing a dress. She is always ready for anything, including funerals or sudden events, but this time she told her team she did not want anything ready. Michelle Obama said it is so easy to just do the thing that looks right, but then you become a shock absorber. She explained that women are often shock absorbers for their husbands, children, mothers, families, and loved ones, especially when living in the public eye. She said it is exhausting and not healthy. Michelle Obama asked when women ever get to live for themselves. She applauded those who choose to take care of their own needs. Her words were calm but carried a lot of strength and truth. Many women watching felt like she was speaking directly to them. They understood the pressure she described after years in the spotlight. Michelle Obama took Donald Trump's personal attack and turned it into something deeper about life choices, strength, and fairness. This response showed a different side from Donald Trump's loud style. Where he was direct and attacking, Michelle Obama was thoughtful and personal. She defended herself and her family while sharing real struggles that many people could relate to. The moment felt human and powerful. People talked about Michelle Obama's answer for a long time afterward. They praised her for staying graceful while standing up for herself. Some said her words were a perfect reply to Donald Trump's criticism. Others felt she brought important issues about women and public life into the conversation. Michelle Obama had shown that she would not just accept the attacks quietly. She would respond with honesty and strength. This part of the story added depth to the rivalry. It moved beyond simple politics into personal experiences and real emotions. Viewers saw Michelle Obama as a strong woman who had faced years of pressure and was now choosing to live on her own terms. Her decision to skip certain events and focus on herself was brave. It inspired many who felt the same exhaustion from always being the strong one for everyone else. The contrast between Donald Trump's fiery speech and Michelle Obama's calm but firm response made the entire exchange even more interesting. One side attacked directly, the other side answered with personal truth and bigger ideas about life. This back and forth kept the audience engaged. People wanted to see how the story would continue. Michelle Obama had answered Donald Trump in a way that felt authentic and powerful. She did not lower herself to the same level of personal attacks. Instead, she shared her truth and called out what she saw as unfair. This approach earned respect from many viewers. The story was becoming richer with each new response. The rivalry between Donald Trump and the Obamas was showing different personalities and different ways of handling conflict. Michelle Obama had played her part with dignity and strength. Her words stayed with people long after the cameras stopped. They sparked conversations about women in the public eye, the cost of constant pressure, and the right to choose yourself. This response from Michelle Obama balanced the earlier attack from Donald Trump. It gave the story balance and made it more complete. Viewers appreciated hearing both sides. The drama continued to build as more voices joined the conversation. Everyone knew Barack Obama would likely add his thoughts soon. The full picture was coming together one piece at a time. Michelle Obama's honest answer had shifted the tone in a meaningful way. She brought humanity into the political fight. She reminded everyone that behind the speeches are real people with real lives and real struggles. This made the story more relatable to ordinary Americans. People saw parts of their own lives in her words. The shock absorber idea especially touched many hearts. Women who had carried heavy loads for their families felt seen and understood. Michelle Obama had turned a difficult moment into something positive and empowering. Her response showed grace under pressure. It showed strength without anger. This is why many people respect Michelle Obama. She handles tough situations with class and honesty. The exchange with Donald Trump highlighted these qualities even more. The story of this rivalry was now more than just politics. It was about character, choices, and how leaders deal with criticism. Michelle Obama had given a memorable answer that added depth to the ongoing drama. The American public continued watching closely to see what would happen next. The tension remained high, but the conversation felt more complete after her words. This part of the story showed the power of calm and honest responses in the middle of loud political battles. Michelle Obama had done her part well. Now the story moved forward with even more interest and anticipation. Barack Obama stepped into the conversation with calm but sharp words. Barack Obama says to Donald Trump, "Here's a 78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems since he rode down his golden escalator 9 years ago. It has been a constant stream of gripes and grievances that's actually been getting worse now that he's afraid of losing the common. There's the childish nicknames, the crazy conspiracy theories, this weird obsession with crowd sizes. I heard someone compare Trump to the neighbor who keeps running his leaf blower outside your window every minute of every day. From a neighbor, that's exhausting. From a president, it's just dangerous. A little bit." The leader of this current administration is still very fascinated with you and your family, constantly bringing you guys up, and you've been out of office nearly 10 years now. How do you continue to keep your cool and take the high road, so to speak? Because we asked Michelle, and Michelle said, we don't have to take the high road no more. We just have to be strategic in our approach. But she said, we don't have to take the high road, but you constantly seem to meet the negativity and the racism with class, and it makes you stand out so high. But some you don't just want to cuss his ass out, or sometimes, I mean, the thing about it is, look, you got to ask him what it is that the obsession, I know what it is. Yeah, you know what? I obviously, have a room in his head, free a sweep in his head. But the thing about it is that was always clear to me. Look, first of all, when I was president, the last thing I had time to do was worry about what somebody said, or what my predecessor did. They're gone. I've got work to do. You locked in. It's hard to describe how, if you're doing the job right, every day you've got 5, 10 things that are real hard and you have to be constantly focused. The idea that I'd be worrying about came before somebody who came before and me trying to measure, like what's he done today. Look, constantly worrying about that is a strange thing to me. It shows me somebody who's not focused on the American people and the job they're supposed to. Barack Obama responded carefully but firmly after hearing everything that had been said. Barack Obama described Donald Trump as a 78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems since he rode down his golden escalator 9 years ago. He said it has been a constant stream of gripes and grievances that actually gets worse when Donald Trump is afraid of losing. Barack Obama pointed out the childish nicknames, the crazy conspiracy theories, and the weird obsession with crowd sizes. He shared a comparison that someone made. Donald Trump is like a neighbor who keeps running his leaf blower outside your window every single minute of the day. From a neighbor, that is exhausting. From a president, it is just dangerous. Barack Obama noted that the leader of the current administration is still very fascinated with the Obama family and constantly brings them up even though they had been out of office nearly 10 years. When people asked how Barack Obama continued to keep his cool and take the high road, he explained that Michelle had said they do not have to take the high road anymore. They can be strategic instead. But Barack Obama himself continued to meet negativity and racism with class. He said this made him stand out. Some people even wondered why he did not just speak out more strongly. Barack Obama said the obsession was clear to him. He knew Donald Trump had a room in his head reserved for them. But during his own time as president, the last thing Barack Obama had time to do was worry about what somebody said or what his predecessor did. They were gone. He had work to do. He stayed locked in on the job. It is hard to describe how focused you must be if you are doing the job right. Every single day brings 5 or 10 hard things that need full attention. The idea of constantly worrying about the past seems strange to Barack Obama. He believes it shows someone who is not focused on the American people and the job they are supposed to do. Barack Obama spoke in a steady and thoughtful way. He did not raise his voice or attack in the same loud style as Donald Trump. Instead, he painted a clear picture of two different approaches to leadership. One side seemed stuck in personal fights and complaints. The other side tried to stay focused on governing and doing the real work. This response from Barack Obama added a new layer to the story. It showed calmness and experience against constant complaining. Many viewers respected the way Barack Obama explained his thinking. He did not get emotional. He stuck to facts and his own record as president. People could see the contrast clearly. Donald Trump kept talking about the past and personal issues. Barack Obama talked about staying focused on the present and the future. This part of the exchange made the whole rivalry feel even deeper. It was not just about one speech or one answer. It was about completely different ways of thinking about leadership and the presidency. Barack Obama reminded everyone that the job is serious. It requires full attention every day. There is no time for endless personal battles when you are leading the country. His words were measured but strong. They carried the weight of someone who had actually done the job. Barack Obama explained how he stayed above the noise during his presidency. He simply did not have the luxury of worrying about what others said. He had too much real work in front of him. This honest explanation resonated with many people. They understood that leading a country is hard and demanding. Constantly looking backward takes energy away from solving current problems. Barack Obama's response helped balance the earlier strong words from Donald Trump and Michelle Obama. It brought policy and leadership style into the conversation. The story continued to grow richer with each new voice. Viewers stayed engaged because the characters were so different and the stakes felt high. Barack Obama had given a thoughtful reply that made people think. He did not just defend himself, he explained a whole philosophy of leadership. This made his part of the story stand out. Many people replayed his words and discussed them with family and friends. They talked about what kind of leader America needs most. Some preferred Donald Trump's bold and direct style. Others liked Barack Obama's calm and focused approach. The exchange showed both sides clearly. The drama on live television had delivered another powerful moment. Barack Obama had answered with class and clarity. He had shown why he believed his way was better for the country. The rivalry between these figures kept the public interested. Each response added new details to the bigger picture. The American people were getting a full view of the different personalities involved. Barack Obama's steady voice provided contrast to the louder exchanges. It gave the story balance and depth. People appreciated hearing from someone who had held the office and understood the real responsibilities. This part of the conversation reminded everyone that the presidency is not a game. It is serious work that affects millions of lives. Barack Obama had made that point effectively. His response to Donald Trump was one of the memorable moments in this long story. It showed strength through calmness and experience. The audience continued watching closely as the full exchange played out. The tension remained, but the discussion felt more complete. Barack Obama had done his part well. He had answered the attacks with reason and a focus on leadership. This helped move the story forward in an intelligent way. Viewers left with a lot to think about after hearing his words. The rivalry had shown many different sides. Each character had revealed something important about themselves. Donald Trump was bold and personal. Michelle Obama was honest and strong. Barack Obama was thoughtful and focused. Together, they created a compelling story that captured the nation's attention. The conversation would continue long after the cameras turned off. People would keep debating who made the stronger points. This back and forth is what makes politics feel alive and real. The characters were larger than life, and the moments were unforgettable. Barack Obama's response in this part added wisdom and experience to the ongoing drama. It was a key chapter in the larger story of these powerful figures clashing on live television. The American public remained engaged and ready for whatever came next in this intense rivalry.